Good afternoon to everyone who is joining my education class. My name is Leanne Hannaford and welcome. I am a brand ambassador for GK Hair and an educator for them, as well as one of their platform artists. We're here today to introduce and relaunch, because we keep launching, something very special. Before we go into our surprise, it's important that all of you, if you're new to GK Hair, that we take a few minutes to learn the incredible company that we're with. Our company, GK Hair, started back in 2007. Our chairman of the board, Mr. Van Taboli, and managing partner, Megan McHugh, have brought this company to an industry that is synonymous with brilliant, shiny hair. We are in 5 continents. We are in Asia, Australia, Europe, North and South America. Our offices are in Ireland, Brazil, North America, and South, excuse me. I was repeating our continents: Ireland, Brazil, Italy, London, and Australia. And just the magnitude of who we've reached and where we've gone is indicative of the success of GK Hair. For those of you who are new and have not heard from GK Hair is recognized in the industry leader in hair smoothing treatments. And we are proud, and here's the surprise, to introduce 100% vegan hair smoothing treatment. And our 100% hair smoothing treatment, as we're the first company to formulate, develop, and introduce to you, is called Coco. Coco, the best. Pure vegan, gluten-free. This treatment is in the series, for those of you who are familiar with our smoothing treatments, is in the sistership of what is called the best. So it is a non-aggressive hair smoothing treatment that has no downtime after the application, where you can wash the hair the same day. We're going to go into what composes our vegan treatment. But with that being said, and before we continue, all of you that are out there, let us not forget that GK's Hair Unending Vision continues to formulate and deliver to each and every one of you in the hair industry the best hair products out there, and that is a fact. So now we're going to continue with what is in our vegan treatment, how it is done and applied. And before we get into the application, we're going to touch a little bit on client consultation. We all know that, as I just explained, that our vegan treatment is a non-aggressive treatment, and there should be always a consultation with your client, introducing them to the properties that are in our vegan treatment, and to make sure that they are not nursing, they're not pregnant, they have no allergies, because things can arise that maybe your client is not familiar with as far as allergies are concerned. Obviously, she's going to know if she's pregnant or if she's nursing. We have never had any adverse effects with any of our smoothing treatments, but we highly recommend that your client gets a consultation with their doctor and an approval. We are very open, and they can go into our website and check out what comprises the treatment that she's about to receive. And it would be a very good idea for you to have in your files, and for her, which will bring her some tranquility, to know that she is doing something that will not have any adverse effect on her. So we always recommend, as far as any hair treatment, color or whatever she's using, we all know that in our industry, it is important to always gather as much information as you can from your clients to make sure that she will be fine with what you're going to be doing to her. So let's go ahead and get started with what are the properties that are in our vegan line. In order to understand, many times I'll pop this into my education, because when we go into the properties of our treatments, and of course, the basis of the success of GK hair is our Juvexin. And Juvexin is an anti-aging protein blend, is what it is. And it's optimized to restore the hair from the inside out. So if you wonder how that works, for those of you who are not familiar to GK hair, it's comprised of two molecules. The small molecule that is in our Juvexin has the ability and the power to transform and go deep into the hair cortex, blasting open the cuticle so that the deposit of Juvexin, which is in all our products, but more so heavily fortified in our smoothing treatments, can go deep, deep into the cortex. Our larger molecule, what it does is wraps itself around the hair shaft, creating what you can envision a shield around the hair shaft, locking in what you just deposited. And pretty much that is what makes Juvexin so special. We own it, we formulated it, and we just own Juvexin. GK Hair is responsible for every brilliant head of hair that has been under their watch by using and maintaining their hair, which is paramount to having Juvexin in your hair. Once you introduce your hair to Juvexin, you will see that day a change in your hair. You will see reconstruction, you will see shine and brilliance just by using their aftercare products. Imagine what happens when you treat your hair with our smoothing treatments. So what is the basis of keratin? A lot of people like to attribute and connect the word, oh, I'm getting a keratin treatment, which essentially you are, because that's what's being serviced into your hair. But what exactly is keratin? And I like everyone in my class to understand the importance of keratin and how it's going to affect their clients. You need to educate your clients. You need to. If you don't know how to explain to your clients the service that they're about to receive, they can't really understand, number one, why it's costly, because it's the best product in the world. That's number one, quality. And it's all about Juvexin. If they don't understand what keratin is, they're not going to be able to understand how you're going to repair their hair. So it takes maybe 5 minutes for you to say, this is why this product works. This is what this product has, and this is what it's going to do for you. Once you establish professionalism and honesty and education with your clients, you will have referral after referral, because it's all about that. And I like to make reference to little details here and there throughout all my educational classes, because we can relate. So why do I say that? If you go to your doctor, your dermatologist, girls, ladies, men, and you're going to get a peel, you're going to get Botox, whatever it is, imagine telling your doctor, hey, I just want to lift this and get away that, and he just goes, grabs the syringes of the CCs and puts it in your face. And you don't ask any questions. What is this going to do? How much is it going to take care of my problem? What adverse effects can I have? And shame on the doctor that would do something like that. If he doesn't explain what you want isn't going to work for you because A, B, C, D, whatever it may be. He should sit down and say, look, these are our options for what you're looking for. This is this, this is this, and this is this. And wouldn't you like to know that? I would. So you're a hair doctor. And when your clients come and sit in front of your chair and I've had it happen to me, I've turned away quite a few clients because their hair cannot sustain what I'm going to do to them because their hair is broken beyond belief. The only way to cure compromised hair is to cut it off, which most of the time women are not happy about that. It's either to trim off everything that is broken so that then you can incorporate the full service, which requires a flat iron to seal the product. And if there are clients that are not willing to do that, I am not willing to do the service because I know 26 years in the business, what happens to hair when it's compromised, and it's not going to be on my watch that her hair stays in my flat iron. And if you all are honest, you will tell her that, because if you don't, you
Hi, Leanne. Can you hear me? Leanne, I cannot hear you.
keratin. Okay, so we're back. We're getting recorded. So we're looking at what keratin is. It's a protein, and along with amino acids, they are able to give hair strength, structure, and shine. And it avoids dryness and dullness. When you see a client that her hair is dry, has no luster, she's lacking keratin, which is a protein. So how do we lose keratin? We lose it through a magnitude of variables, such as intense chemical treatments, over-processing, color, clients that do not take care of their hair and or trim it to keep it healthy. The years as we mature, age, menopause, childbearing, all those things create loss of keratin, which is protein, as we lose collagen and elastin in our skin. This is where GK Hair comes in. This is what makes us a brand apart, and that is Juvetsin. Remember what I told you. It's an anti-aging protein blend comprised of two molecules. The small one goes deep into the cortex. The larger one wraps itself around the shaft, creating a shield and locking in everything that you put into the hair. So here we go with Coco. Coco the best. How do you do it? And how do you begin? First, we need to know what is in Coco. So Coco is made from goji berries, coconut oil, and a lot of other conditioning natural agents. So here we go. This is important so you understand. A lot of people think that coconut oil is extremely heavy. It is not. It is coconut oil. When we take it out of the coconut, it's really 90% of saturated fats, which are really very, very light, and the hair accepts it easier. So pretty much that just comes naturally from the coconut and is one of the properties that is in our coconut treatment. It is, and it's important that you know, our Coco the best is an acid-based treatment. In that, I mean that because it comes from glycolic acid, that makes it an acid-based treatment, but no aggressive chemicals are in it. Some of the benefits besides the glycolic and the coconut oil are, and write this down so that you know. Well, I told you about the coconut oil. Now we're going to go into vitamin E, and then we're going to go into the goji berry. Goji berry is a very rich oily extract that is packed with 19 amino acids that work as a very rich source of protein. So what are we looking for in our hair to recreate that beautiful, healthy hair we had when we were younger? Protein. And this is where goji berry comes into our product, and it has those 19 amino acids in it and rich vitamins that are also comprised with the goji berry. So it's packed with amino acids and it produces protein. It has a high amount of antioxidant levels from the goji berry, which locks into the scalp, creating a healthy scalp. You have a healthy scalp, your hair comes out nice and healthy and shiny. Vitamin E, also a main property in our cocoa. And the vitamin E contains, as we all know, because we use it for our skin, antioxidant properties. And what this does in the cocoa treatments, it ensures a strong protection from free radicals that kind of damage our hair, like UVAs and all kinds of things that can damage our split ends. So coconut oil, 90% of saturated fats that are pressed from the coconut and is a very lightweight oil. We have your vitamin E, antioxidant, and we have goji berries, which is an oily extract that has 19 amino acids. Now you're thinking, can I apply my Coco the Best treatment the same day as I do color? So it's important that you take a quick note. It is important to first do your treatment. Go ahead and do your goji go ahead and do your cocoa treatment and then follow with color. But it's important that you use only an 8 or a 10 volume developer if you're going to follow your treatment with color. If the treatment is going to be done with, like, for example, highlights, or you're going to do a balayage, then do your lightening service first and then follow with a cocoa. Why? Because anything that entails lightening powders, high lifts, are high in developers. And if you were to do it after the treatment, you're going to be stripping what you just finished with. It's not the same as when you do a root touch-up, that you're just applying it to the hair shaft. And should you be doing it from the root all the way down to the shaft, an 8 volume developer or 10, which is what you must use, is not really going to strip anything that you've done. So if you're doing our cocoa, do your cocoa first, then apply your color. If you're doing cocoa and you want to do lightening powders, balayage, first highlight, and then finish with your cocoa treatment. Aftercare products, we'll talk about it. The best way to maintain your treatment is pretty much the same as when you use the Resistant, the Best, Miami Bombshell, or Curdy. So our Coco, the Best, is our 5th treatment that has been formulated and launched by GK Hair, and we are the first company to do so. So now we're going to go into the application. And for those of you I keep mentioning that are familiar with GK Hair, if you've done the best, it's done exactly the same. I just have a quick, okay. We'll be answering questions after the class is over. So we're going to show you one more time before we do the cocoa. Here is our Coco the Best. The after smell, residual smell on our treatment is peachy. So if you have clients that are a little sensitive to smell, it's a wonderful fresh fruit residual smell, and it is wonderful. It's not aggravating for those of your clients that are a little sensitive to allergies. That is the residual smell. So now we're going to go on to the prep. As in any treatment, and I know that a lot of you out there have done many treatments, I want you to understand the importance of deposit, as it is for color or when you're prepping for highlighting. The hair has, especially for color, has to be completely the cuticle prep for even porosity and everything else that you do. Otherwise, you're not going to get full coverage. So what is the prep work for the Coco? So we're going to start with our GK pH Plus clarifying shampoo. This is the basis for part of your success, for 50% of it. I like to attribute more than that, but we're going to be fair. We're going to do 50%. Why? This has an 8.9 alkalinity level in the shampoo, as well as aloe vera to soothe the scalp and prevent any kind of burning and or tingling. But the 8.9 alkalinity has its job to do, and that job is to burst that cuticle open. It's a pre-treatment for the deposit of the Coco. It's going to take off waxes, hairsprays, oil, gels, anything that is in the hair shaft. It's going to take it away. It's going to cleanse it, and it's going to open up that cuticle. But how you shampoo the hair is very, very important. If you don't do it correctly, you're not going to get the result that you're looking for. So the prep work for a proper shampoo is your client, you take her to the shampoo bowl and begin and be generous with the shampoo. You cannot really skimp on it. I'm not saying to pour the entire bottle, but you want a rich lather, because remember what your objective is: to get that hair prepped for the Coco. You're going to massage with your fingertips the scalp, a little aggressive. Go ahead and make that a really clean scalp cleansing, because a lot of oils come into the scalp and stay in the scalp. After you've done that massage for about a minute or so, continue down the shaft of the hair, rubbing that shaft like if you were erasing, you basically are taking away all the impurities and hair products that are saturated in that hair shaft. So a good shampoo is going to be about 2.5 minutes or so, give or take density and length. After you've completed that first shampoo, you're going to put your timer 3 minutes, not 2 and not 2.5. These are treatments that, in order for them to give you everything that they're supposed to give you, the repair, the structure, the shine, there's steps that you have to take. So go ahead and leave that shampoo 3 minutes. When the timer goes off, rinse it lightly, take most of the suds off, and repeat the shampoo again in the same manner. Aggressive, the hair shaft, timer again, 3 minutes. And when your 3 minutes are up, give it a very good rinse with warm water. A good rinse of about 5 or so minutes. You do not want to leave any alkalinity from the shampoo in the hair. Not that it's going to make anything bad happen, but you're going to get some smoke if you leave some shampoo in the hair. Because when you deposit the Coco, which is acid-based, it comes from glycolic acid, you're going to have a little bit of a combustion between the alkalinity of the shampoo and our non-aggressive treatment of the Coco. It's just two glycolics coming together, two acids. And although this will do nothing to the hair, it might be a little uncomfortable for you or your client. So make sure that last rinse is a minimum of 5 minutes. You're looking to feel in the hair a very rough finish, almost like a frayed rope, a rope that is old and it just, you're thinking, I'm never going to be able to detangle the hair, which you will, but you're thinking you're not. That's what you're looking for. You did a good job. You open the cuticle, you prep the hair for the deposit of the cocoa. Now, if your client has virgin hair, it must be done 3 times the shampoo. You have to. It's virgin hair and you have to open up that cuticle. So you must do it 3 times on virgin hair. Obviously, we like to tell our clients who have virgin hair that the more we repeat the treatment, the smoothing treatment, be it the Coco, the best, or whatever, the better the hair will be, because opening up that cuticle the very first time, even if you do it right, the deposit might not be on target exactly just because it's virgin hair. But nevertheless, a third shampoo is a must when you are performing any treatment from GK Hair, any of our smoothing treatments. They must be shampooed 3 times. So here we go. So you've untangled your client, you've sectioned the client, and this is very simple to do. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it for those of you who have never done a GK smoothing treatment. And you're going to get to see it now. It's very simple. And
Wait, Leanne. Leanne, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I just sent you a message if you can announce that to all of them.
Okay. Oh,
Let me
yes,
send.
very important from corporate. We are offering a 25% Prime Day sale coupon code. Your coupon code would be Prime 25 discount, and it's a flat 25% off of all products. It ends on the 22nd, tomorrow. This is a great opportunity, 25% off on all the GK products, including our smoothing treatments. So please take the opportunity and take advantage, because this does not happen very often. So again, 25% Prime Day sale coupon. The code is Prime 25, and that is the code. And the discount is a flat 25% off of all products. Again, the coupon code is Prime 25. Okay, on with the Coco. Make sure that when you take your Coco or any smoothing treatment from GK, it's important that you turn the bottle upside down and just shake it up a little bit. Sometimes everything just kind of gathers in the bottom, like in your kitchen when you're going to do vinaigrettes and things like that, they settle. So you just want to shake it a little bit to make sure that you rouse everything up. Go ahead and start with about an ounce of the product, just so that you don't, use only a little bit and then you have to throw it away. You cannot put it back in the bottle. So you can always add product as you need it. So what I've done is, obviously I didn't put the Coco in my bowl because I'm not going to waste it, but I did use our conditioning, moisture protection conditioning, our conditioner. It simulates what the Coco looks like, and I'm just going to use it on my mannequin, pretending that it's the Coco. So we'll start with that. Obviously, I'm not going to wear gloves because I'm working with conditioner, but don't forget to wear your gloves. So you're going to section. I'm going to try to put this where you guys can see it perfect. Okay, so we're going to start with 1/2 inch sections. Do not touch the scalp. Stay away from the scalp and hold your hair a little bit taut, a little bit strong. Don't really pull her hair, but just hold it strong, not soft, so you can get even distribution. So I'm using my TK brush and comb. It's great because you can apply color, treatments, whatever you're doing, and then you have your comb on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start away, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this through like if you were just smooth it on. You want your not oversaturation, but so that the strand is covered. At the end, I'm just gonna do a little bit of an X. And then I'm going to, I personally, you don't have to, it's just the way I do it. It's in my mind that I get a little compulsive with roughing up the cuticle. So I typically massage up, as you see. And as I'm massaging up, I rough up that cuticle. And then I come down, massage it down, and go ahead and take your comb and just comb it through. So you can see that there's no saturation here, but it's all in there. And I've stayed about 1/4 of an inch away from the scalp. This process you're going to do all the way past the occipital bone to the crown. So you're going to take another 1/2 inch section. And we're going to repeat exactly what I just did. Take your hair and go ahead and hold it a little tight. Let's make this a little bit more straight. And you're going to do the same application. Do not oversaturate, just touch the surface of the hair. You don't have to push down like if you were coloring the hair shaft inside, because as you massage, you are transferring the cocoa into the cuticle, and then of course you're going to process it. It's going to go in, and then it's all going to be done. So you're just going to take your next section 1/4 inch away from the scalp area. Go ahead. As I put it on, I just spread it without oversaturation, not necessary, and we advise against it. You just want to make sure that the hair strand is completely covered. And then, of course, you're going to massage whichever way you want. I like to go up, rough up that cuticle contrary to the growth, and then massage down. I go as close as I can, but not touching the scalp. So you can see what I'm doing with my thumb. And then I go ahead and bring it down. So you're going to continue all the way up, up into the crown area. When you come to the side, and I know a lot of you know this, but I'm going to say it because we're dealing with, although non-aggressive, it's a glycolic acid, and you want to be really, really careful with the eye area. So.
Yeah, and I have a quick question.
Okay.
Okay, the question is, what is the difference between the best Coco and GK hair resistant?
GK Coco is a vegan line, has no chemicals. It is non-aggressive. So it is from goji berries and your vitamin and coconut oil. And it's packed with juvexin, all natural properties. The resistant is an aggressive treatment, meaning that it has its chemicals, and it is for very resistant hair. But make no mistake, Coco and resistant, people ask all the time, well, is it possible for me to achieve smooth hair with a vegan 100% gluten-free treatment? Can I get the same smoothness as with resistant? The answer is yes, so long as you do it like you're supposed to, which is the reason for this education. And I place emphasis on the shampooing, which is the pre-treatment. You're getting the hair ready, and everything else that goes along with it. So the difference is resistant is aggressive, vegan is non-aggressive. That is the difference, okay? So when we go to the side, and you're going to apply, get these bangs out of the way. It's important that how to apply it here. Okay, so of course we're going to start on the side, same thing. You want to do your half-inch sections. And typically when we all work on people and we're super experienced, we work quickly, we know what we're doing, but we should be very careful as well. We just get too full of ourselves and we lose track that an accident can happen. So what you want to do when you're working with this treatment, typically we like to do this and come down. When you come down, what are you doing? You're coming very close to her eye area, right in here. Very, very careful you have to be. So it's very easy. It's happened to me when I'm quickly doing a balayage or ombre or whatever it is. Sometimes the chemical, whether it's bleach or color that you're doing a low light, kicks off of the brush because maybe we have too much. You don't want to take that chance. You want to do it correctly. So you want to take your strand, go back away from her eye area, and you just kind of hold it a little tight as you see me pull. Go ahead, and I have no issues going this way. Comb it through, continue. It may be a little cumbersome, but it's going to be worth it for you that she stays safe and she takes a good look at how you're doing her product, because clients do see what you do. And then you're going to go ahead and massage it against the cuticle, everything away from her eyes. Watch what I'm doing. I'm just massaging up, come down, and go ahead and distribute the product through the hair. Of course, you're going to have a clip as you work through the hair to hold this back. And you will continue all the way up, taking your half-inch sections, same concept. You're going to apply it in the same manner. I'm not going to get on this too much because I know all of you know what you're doing, but I have to say it. Okay, so we're going to go away. Do not touch the scalp. Go ahead and do an even, as you see, I'm just painting the hair. And enough product that I know it's going to go through, but not oversaturation. It is not necessary. It's a waste of product. So just enough that you see that you have enough, and then go ahead and massage up, downward. Go ahead and take your comb, fine distribution of the product, and hold it away from her face. So this, you would work your way all the way, of course, up here in the crown area. I don't have to show you how to do that because you're away from the eyes. But most girls have bangs. So very important, when you're doing the bang area, of course, it falls here. Same idea, just a little bit. You're going to do opposite. You're going to go backwards instead of sideways. So you can see where I have her right here, her bang. I'm not going to apply downward, obviously, and I'm not going to go sideways because, as you can see, sometimes the bangs are shorter, and look what happens. I think I have it, but some of it falls, and it may have the chemical on it. So I like to take the hair and go back. And so same idea, you're going to hold that hair back, and you're going to go ahead, hold it nice and tight. Do not touch the scalp. I'm just going to follow through to the ends. Massage it up and down completely so it's saturated in its entirety. And then distribute the product and hold the product back with your clip, and you continue to do the bang area. Okay, now we go into processing. Let's say that you're done, you've applied the Coco. So you're going to, again, for those of you who are familiar with the best, you can follow along with me. And I know that the Coco is new, but it'll ring a bell. For those of you who are new, this is what you're going to do. You're going to process with a processing cap anywhere between 15, and that's 15 minutes through 60 minutes. And how, like, for example, you'll say, well, what's the difference? I know that I would think it. Where do I draw the line? For fine hair, and I want you to write this down. For fine, wavy hair, what is fine hair? We all know it. Think of baby hair, mine. I have very fine hair. And just the mere idea that it's fine tells you that my texture is fine and my porosity is going to be way open than if I were working on Spanish, Mediterranean hair, Mexican hair, Peruvian. Those hairs, the diameter in the hair shaft is very thick. So it takes a little more for it to get into the hair shaft, meaning the Coco, and therefore processing time is to the max at 60. But for fine wavy hair, you can leave it 15 minutes, maybe 25, and that's it. That's all you're gonna do. For thick, coarse hair that has very tight curls, you wanna reach your max at 60 minutes. When you have reached your timing for whether it's 15 minutes, 25 minutes, 35 minutes, you have to play it by ear. You are the professional judge of what you're working with and what your client wants to get out of the treatment. Every client is an individual. I can only give you the correct way to do it and how to do it. You are the final judge. We're giving you more or less an idea. Fine, wavy, baby hair that isn't too wavy, I would do about 20 to 25 minutes. If you do a little more, nothing's gonna happen. It's just gonna work a little harder. But if she just wants total frizz reduction and silk and reparation in her hair, you're looking at about 20 to 25 minutes for the simple reason that the product will go into her hair quickly and begin to work. If you're working, as I said, with Spanish hair, Mediterranean hair, people from, I have 2 clients that are from India. Their hair is gorgeous. Some, not all of them, but some of them have, besides gorgeous hair, thick. One has not too fine, but not too thick. So I just play it by ear. And so depending on the texture, you're going to calculate porosity. Porosity is everything in hair. That's my #1 thing that when I look at a client and I'm going to do work, the first thing that I do with my timer, and I know what I'm doing, is porosity. And that dictates the strength of your developer, what you're doing, which lightening powder from GK you're going to be using, whether it's our bombshell or our lightening powder plus that lifts 9 levels, or whether you're using our cream lightener, which is amazing. So porosity is key, as is volume developer, because that's going to give you what you want. Same concept when you're doing the Coco. Look at her hair. What does she want? How are you going to get there? So anyways, after you've completed your timing process with your processing cap, you're
I have a
going
question.
to, yes.
Okay, and the question is that if the hair is extremely compromised with breakage from high lightening, should we clarify the hair with PS Plus shampoo once or twice?
Okay, so this is my 2 things. I need to address that because I spoke about that in the beginning of my class when you do consultations. If the hair is highly compromised, and a lot of people have in their mind, well, I think it's compromised, but I'm still going to go ahead with a bleach, I wouldn't do it. What is compromised hair? This is the question that I get from everyone. Compromised hair is when you lift the hair up like so, and you go ahead you can do a strand test, obviously, and you take one hair out, put it in a glass of water. If the hair sinks, the hair is compromised. The porosity, the cuticle is blasted open. If the hair floats to the top, you have normal porosity, and therefore the hair can withstand lightning powders. But anyways, so it's hard for me to give an answer to the question because I don't know what she interprets as compromise. But let's say she thinks it can withstand lightning powders and the cocoa. If you're going to be shampooing to prepare her for the cocoa, I would, me personally, go ahead and shampoo with our pH Plus shampoo. Remember that it has 8.9 alkalinity along with our, oh my God, I'm having a brain thing here, with our aloe vera for the scalp. That end, the ends of your client's hair are already compromised. That tells you that the porosity is there. I would not extend to the very ends of the hair the clarifying shampoo. What you can do, and I've done rarely, but I've done it, I will take the color protection shampoo from GK, and I will take the clarifying shampoo and break it up a little bit, meaning that the clarifying shampoo, I'm taking out a little bit of that power by inducing into it the moisturizing color protection shampoo. And I wouldn't rough up that ends too much. I would just lightly put it through the ends, leave it a minute and rinse it. It doesn't need to be open. It is open because it's broken. Try to tell your client, convince your client that she should cut at least what is compromised, the broken ends of her hair. I don't know that I would do the treatment again. I don't know what she looks like. And I always think safety first for her and for you, because there's only going to be one person she's going to blame, and it isn't going to be your neighbor, because you're the one that chose to do it. You're the one that didn't explain to her that you have to seal the hair with a flat iron, and what is going to happen to those ends when you seal the product into the hair. Okay, so my answer is what to do, and the correct thing to do: cut or decide not to do it. We talked about this in the class, and I stand firm behind that 100%. It is my reputation, as I have worked on for years and years, by being honest. And I don't see the dollar sign before honesty, because it can come back and haunt you in many, many ways. So look at what's compromised. Tell her that your suggestion is cut it off, cut off what's broken. Tell her why. That it has to be sealed with a flat iron, and you don't feel the hair can withstand it. Not because you're flat ironing it with the correct temperature, but because your hair can't take it. It's that simple. So that is my answer. Okay. After you've processed your client between 15 to 60 minutes with a processing cap, you're going to rinse that hair. Just rinse it until the hair comes clean. That it runs, the water is clear, there's no residual. And what is residual? You're going to see it like a milky white cream, because that's what you put on. As soon as you rinse and rinse, tepid water, a little bit leaning more a little bit towards the cool. When it's completely clear, she's ready for a blow dry. And then we're going to go into the flat iron. But we also have to incorporate into that 5 minutes at the basin after you've rinsed her. You are going to apply the deep conditioning mask from GK. This is gold in a jar. It is amazing. It is mega fortified with Juvexin, repair protein. It is a reconstructor. It has grain extracts that give you strength. It has jojoba, you know what jojoba does to the hair, seed oils that are for hydration and nourishment. And it is a deep penetration into the cortex. So after you've rinsed your client, you will go ahead and finish with the deep conditioning mask from GK. Leave it on 5 minutes, that's all. Rinse off her mask, the deep conditioning mask, and she's ready to get her blow dry. Simple blow dry, just blow out her hair, and then we're going to finish with the flat iron. But I'd like to make a notation and explain to you why I'm making this. So I would like for all of you who are not familiar with this particular point of view from GK, I'd like you to jot it down. If you are washing a client and you're washing off, rinsing off the Coco, if your client has, you know, she's very blonde, she has highlights, I'm not saying she's compromised, but just the fact that she would be a level 9 with a balayage and with highlights, she has delicate hair. We all know that because we know what it takes to go from a level 1 to a 9. We know the bleaching that, unless you're a natural blonde, anybody that is between, like myself, 8, 9 with finger highlights, I use 40 on my hair because I retain a lot of gold. My hair is compromised to a degree, except I cut it every 5 weeks. So I always have healthy hair, not to mention that I rely on the deep conditioning mask from GK. I sleep with it. But anyways, anyone that has blonde highlighted hair, decent condition, but it's blonde and highlighted, and pay attention, or a redhead, it is a good idea to wash her hair with the color protection shampoo from GK. Our moisturizing color protection shampoo, I'm going to explain to you why. And I want you to think, we always have to go back to basics. When we go back to school in our head and we have to solve a problem with hair, think of basics. So maybe we've forgotten because so many years have passed and so many new products that we use and our clients, what they have in their hair, come to surface. Why would I wash a redhead or a blonde with highlights rather than rinse off the Coco? Porosity. So you want to be able to remove from the ends of a blonde the Coco. Remember that it's a glycolic based treatment. I keep repeating what it is. So you want to make sure, because the porosity is more likely to be strong in a level 8, 9, 10, you want to make sure that you remove that porosity has sucked in the Coco. And sometimes rinsing is a little bit not enough because it's gone deep, which is what we want. But we want to make sure we remove any traces that could remain in the ends of the hair. So I would use, and it's recommended that you use the color protection shampoo in the ends, as with a redhead. And the redhead sucks that up too. And we all know that redheads, I do quite a bit of redheads. It's beautiful when our colors go in and they stay. But red is a very delicate color, as is blonde. It wants to turn and can turn if it is not properly cared for. So you want to rinse the hair first, take the cocoa off and just give it a very light, not aggressive, the moisturizing color protection, just pass it through the ends, making sure that we're removing all of the cocoa from the hair and just leaving the hair nice and clean. So remember, that note goes for blondes that are pretty blonde and highlighted and redheads. And concentrate mostly on the ends, not so much your crown area where you do have new growth and healthier hair, obviously, than in your ends. Your ends take an enormous amount of damage from the sun's rays. This is where we always work our hair. If you're going out for dinner and you don't have time for a complete blow dry, what do we work on? The front, because this is what people see. So, oh, let me flat iron my ends. Let me a quick blow dry in the ends, a quick flat iron. This is what takes the abuse. So that's where you really want to concentrate. Okay. So after you've rinsed out your deep conditioning mask, you're ready to blow out your client, and then you're finally ready to seal and to end your process. So for those of you who do not have a guide as to flat ironing temperatures, I would like to share some of those temperatures with you, and you can make a quick note as I did many, many years ago. So if you're using your flat iron on a Fahrenheit temperature for normal hair, I'm going to refer to virgin hair, okay? Hair that does not have color, does not have highlights. So you want to start Fahrenheit at about 420, 410, and you can go all the way up to 450 for normal, healthy hair. If you're using Celsius, you want to start at about 215, and you can move on up to about 230. If you're flat ironing colored hair, you want to go ahead and start at about 380. I like to start maybe 375 because I can always move my temperature up. But let's call it 380, and you can go to 420 Fahrenheit. And this is for sealing the hair. If you're working Celsius, go ahead and start at about 190 all the way to 215 Celsius, color treated hair. Sensitive hair. What is sensitive hair? Fine textured like mine, a lot of highlights, healthy but sensitive. So you want to start at about 340, 345 Fahrenheit and go no more than 380. Do not go higher. The hair already is sensitive. It's been highly highlighted. These are examples that I'm giving you, or hair that has been over processed and they're platinum. You want to make sure you stay in a safe temperature. If you're working on sensitive hair, Celsius, you want to start with 170 and do not pass 190. Coarse textured hair. Now we go back to Peruvian hair, Mediterranean, Spanish hair. I have clients from Venezuela, Nicaragua. Their hair can be a little on the coarse side. So I start at about 415, 415, and slowly work my way, obviously, if I have to 450 safely. In Celsius, that would mean starting at 215, 215, and going all the way to 232, 230, wherever your iron ends. This is the kicker, gray hair. Our clients that are naturally gray, I have a few, no color, they just like their white hair, it's beautiful, pearl white, be careful, no more than 350 Fahrenheit. This is it. And Celsius, that would mean if you were doing that type of gray white hair, 176. Why? Because it's going to turn yellow. If you raise your temperature, you will have yellow hair in spots. You're burning it. It's white. And it is extremely sensitive to heat. It happened to me many, many years ago, and I learned my lesson. So I'm passing it on to you. Think of when you iron a white linen blouse or a silk blouse that you just want to quickly take off wrinkles. If your white linen blouse turns yellow, your temperature is too high. And so more or less do the math on hair. So your flat iron, those are a temperature guide, and I strongly recommend that you follow them. It's always good to start at a lower grade and slightly move up because you are looking for a ceiling. How many passes are you going to do when I show you now the technique for flat ironing and finishing your client? I've tried this on many. This is all I do constantly with GK. Besides my colors and my lightening powders, I'm talking about our treatments. I do a lot of them. So texture is everything, and porosity. Obviously, if you were working on my hair and doing my Coco on my hair, I would say maybe after 4 passes, 3 to 4 passes, you've completed and sealed it. You are only sealing the product. You already processed it with a processing cap. By ironing and flat ironing the hair over and over, you're killing it. It is going to have a reverse effect because what does heat do? Opens the cuticle, and little by little, within maybe 5 to 6 weeks, that treatment will begin to leave the hair. You left it open. You already processed it with your processing cap. You rinsed it. You did your deep conditioning mask. You blew it out. All it needs is a tinge of heat to finish sealing it and bringing out the shine. What are you looking for when you do your passes? You're going to see it immediately. There isn't a hairdresser in my education class that has not ironed hair. So I don't have to go into it deeply to tell you what it should look like. You're looking for the cuticle, the strands to become united, and that shine is going to start to come. When you lift the hair and you're flat ironing and you're working on your client, I'm going to turn her this way so I can show you an example of hair that hasn't been. So typically, how do you know that your hair is sealed? When you take your section, I'm going to get a part that hasn't been, and you are flat ironing your hair, and I've given you already the temperature guides. Remember that your sections are key, very, very important. So you want to take very, very thin sections. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because the objective of sealing hair is to have an even transfer of heat, starting at the top, going through the middle, and finishing in the bottom. So no more than this. And how do you know what I'm talking about? Take your rat tail comb after you've sectioned the hair that you're going to seal, and go like this. Do you see how I can see through the hair the rat tail? That means that my section is perfect. Because if and you can't get crazy and want to do it and finish fast, you'll ruin it. If you're tired from doing this thing and the treatment, if you were to take a thick section, and I want you to think like this, oh, I can do it, this heat is going to go right through the hair. No, it's not. If I were to go like this and take a thick section because I'm tired, because my client has to pick up the kid in school, whatever, and you go like this, you can't really see my rat tail comb. So how is the transfer of heat going? Yeah, you're gonna get the top and you're gonna get the bottom. But what's gonna happen in the middle? Do you really think that the heat is gonna go through the middle of the hair shaft equal and seal? It isn't. So if you do it this way, and yeah, in the beginning, she's gonna be flat iron. Oh, this is beautiful. And when she goes home and she washes her hair, she's gonna have frizz in between every other section because the transfer of heat didn't go through. You took too much of hair. So when you go ahead and flat iron, make sure that you can see your rat tail in between the hairs. That way, when you flat iron, you have even distribution of heat going from the top to the middle to the back. And you're sealing the hair perfect. Okay, so I've explained the importance of a flat iron, and I don't have to spend too much time here with you because I know you all are busy. And so we're just going to go over two sections that are important when you flat iron the hair to protect your client. So I'm sure you've done it, but I'm going to say it anyways, because that way I know that I trained you correctly. So for your certification. So you're going to kind of, when I work around the neck area, I don't work this way, because if I were to work down, as you see, how close can I really get to the root without burning my client? I can't really reach the root. Look at where my flat iron is. Look at where my flat iron is. If I were to go this way, how close can I be? You're leaving the top section without receiving heat to seal it. So what I like to do personally is lift the hair as much as and make sure that your client has her neck down as much as possible, because that helps also in achieving what you're doing. And I'm just going to try to, this won't go down anymore, but I'll show you. So I like to make sure that I have everything visible and no interruption from the hair at the top. I lift the hair, as you see me lift, away from the neck, up, 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 and I can really get into that root area. Lift the hair and come up, over. Make sure you tap twice near the root. Notice that I'm not touching the neck, and I just kind of flat iron up and let the hair drop. When I've done that 2 or 3 times, I can just kind of go ahead and finish with the iron downward. That's very important anytime you're working around the frame of the head, because this is what's exposed and what you can really do to burn. You don't want to do that. So now as you come to the sides, same thing as I showed you in the application method, extreme care to avoid burns. These are just suggestions, and you need to be aware of them. So you're working near your cheek area. We need to be very careful because, once again, we are in a delicate area of the face. So for me, it's helped me many, many times. I take the hair, and actually, if you do a parallel where I'm looking at the hair almost at a 45-degree angle, it lets you see where the growth is, and you can avoid mistakes where you can kind of like zap her with an iron. So I pull the hair back, and I can literally see, watch my iron I'm not coming downward where I can really burn her. I'm away and I'm looking at her and I'm pulling up, and look how close I am to the root, but not the skin. By pulling up, and you almost have like a, I'm gonna shake it parallel, and I'm really getting that root where the hair grows. And then I come up and I repeat and I look very, very careful. Look at my iron. I'm nowhere near. Of course, I'm watching the ear. I can't do both, show you it, but up and let your iron fall. That's a protection that you want to do. Hold that hair up and away from the skin. And finally, when you're doing your bang area, same thing. You're going to take your section, as I've done, and you do not want to, even if you think you're holding it, you do not want to do this. And I'm going to tell you one of the main reasons. There is nothing that aggravates me more when I'm working on clients, and I know you experience it. I'm saying it. Then I am working with bleach. I'm working with my treatments or cutting, and I use my razor. I love to use razors when I cut, and I can do it on a client. And clients reach for their phone. Oh, I'm going to answer this email, and they make a gesture where you think they're calm. The phone rings, a text comes in, and out of nowhere, they reach for it. And then you make a mistake or you burn them. So my advice to you, as I've learned again through the years, is talk to your clients real straight and simple. And I tell them, I'm going to be flat ironing away from your skin, but do not touch your phone when I have this in my hand. Because if I burn you, it's your fault. So I am that, life has taught me that. And so when I'm ironing their bang area, I am here. Watch my flat iron, and I'm up and away. And even if they don't follow through, and I tell them I'm going to be flat ironing here. If I burn myself, you will not be a happy camper, because I do not want to burn myself with 350-degree iron. So this is what I can share with you, because education to me just doesn't start with passing on to you the properties in our treatments, or how to do a sombre, or how to do the Miami bombshell, whatever. It has to do with everything, because that's how you're going to get 100% results, safe for your client, beautiful for your client, and you have one happy client leaving your chair. It's everything full circle. And if you were to ask me, what is the number one rule, Leanne, that you follow for whatever you do? And this is the honest to God truth. Don't hurry. Don't see another $200 coming into your chair. Make sure that you tell your clients, what I'm going to do for you today is going to take about, whether it's the color sealed, it's an average of 2 hours, average. Sometimes my GK color seals can take us almost, not quite, the same time as a resistant smoothing treatment. I cannot feel pressure, and I won't do it. I cannot do it, because I'm not inventing. I didn't invent the time factor that goes into GK's great treatments. It is what it is. A pre-treatment shampoo with our clarifying is an average of about 21 minutes. Think about it. Shampooing 3 minutes, leave it on 3 minutes. Right there, you have 6 minutes. Repeat the second shampoo. 6 and 6 is 12. Say it's virgin hair, another 3 minutes. Now you're into, by rinsing, close to 13 or 14 minutes. Then rinse, 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 rinse. Make sure you rinse average 5 to 6, 7 minutes. You're into 21 minutes. Just shampooing. Then dry her with a towel. Section the hair. Apply the treatment. A good 25 minutes done properly. Now you're into a little over an hour. Process the hair. Rinse the hair. Blow dry the hair. And flat iron. I do not allow clients to tell me, can you hurry? I tell them ahead of time though, no, I cannot. And I will not. So make sure that when you offer these incredible treatments from GK, our vegan, our the best, the resistant Miami bombshell, consultation is part of letting your client know the cost, why it's costly, and the time factor. Don't tell me that you got to pick up your baby at kindergarten. It's not going to happen because I'm not going to do it in an hour. It cannot be done. So this is part of education. When I teach everything. And it's going to help you be more successful, and you're going to have a happy client, and they're going to respect you for it. So that's part of my class. I have finished everything with the exception of, which is super important. So you're going to say, Leanne, what do I recommend to my client to maintain their hair? All of GK's shampoos, all, whether it's balancing, our UV shampoos, and our color protection. So you know that our UVs have aloe vera, they have lasting moisture, they're sulfate free, they protect you from the sun, and it has its matching conditioners, is great. This helps a lot to help your lasting color last longer. And it can be applied to our vegan Coco treatment. You have your color protection shampoo. And our color protection has seed oils, plant extracts, grain extracts, and it is for dry hair, coarse hair, and it is fabulous. You can use that after having done the Coco. But then we have our latest, and this is awesome for those of you who want it. We have our CBD new shampoo and conditioner. And this has a lot of pea proteins in it. It has quinoa in it, and it induces tremendous shine. So if they want to do on their Coco treatment, the CBD shampoo and conditioner, this is an option. Incredible. And they're using something new. If they want to use the balancing shampoo because their hair tends to be, the scalp, a little oily, go ahead and use and offer them the balancing shampoo and conditioner. If they want to have our Shield shampoo with aloe vera, sulfates free, all our shampoos are sulfate free and PPD free, and you name it, then go ahead and offer them your UV Shield shampoo, which the word shield tells you that it helps shield your color from the UV rays. And also you can go ahead and take them into your color moisturizing protection shampoo. Also works beautiful. All of our shampoos and conditioners work with any treatment, smoothing treatment that you will do from GK Hair. So it doesn't matter, you're not making a mistake. No, it will not fade the color. No, it will not take away the treatment. On the contrary, it's full of juvexin, all of our products have Juvexin. Remember what Juvexin does. It belongs to GK Hair. We own it. We own the patents. No one has it. Can you have copies? Yes, but it's not Juvexin. So all of our Juvexin is in our product line: hairsprays, waxes, mousses, leave-in creams. We have it. You can do that. And as a service provider to your client, you need to educate a little bit. So there are 3 things that are always on my station. This is an in-between. This is our dry shampoo. Anytime that you do a treatment, like for example, the resistant or the curly, where there is a downtime in shampooing, your client can use our dry shampoo. And this has natural carbohydrates in it. What do the natural carbohydrates that are in it do for the hair? It absorbs the oil, but it doesn't weigh your hair down. It doesn't flake it, and it smells divine. And this helps tame your frizz. The way to use it, I would highly recommend that you have it. You would just lift the hair, spray only in the scalp, rub the scalp where your oil is. As you can see, my hair doesn't look weighed. And you take your next section, go into the oily area, rub, and let it go. So our dry shampoo is a must for your clients to take with them to the gym. They're going out to an impromptu cocktail. They don't have time to shampoo. This is your magic shampoo, full of carbohydrates and grains, and it's it won't be like people who have dandruff. It won't accelerate any dandruff. We have a dandruff shampoo as well. When you're finished with your client and you've done your treatments, you always want to finish. This is sunflower seed oils. And this is incredible. It's called our dry oil shine. Do not think of oil. Watch what it does to my hair. And I'm sure you can see the shine. I can texture. It brings out my hair color immediately. So I highly suggest your dry oil shine. It's a frizz fighter. It's an incredible, brilliant finish to the hair. You can do it on your ends or wherever you want that pop of shine and frizz control. And this is, again, this is made from sunflower seed oils, not oily at all. You can see it in my hair. It's great, and it's non-cumulative. So you can just kind of spray it 7 to 8 inches away just for a finish. And this I work on all the time. And then, of course, we've got, this is our magic argan oil that comes from the argan tree. It is pure argan oil from the Moroccan tree. It seals, protects. So it's a tool that you can use as a finish on dry hair, as a blow dry tool on wet hair, and it is incredible. And what I do is, for myself, obviously I have straight hair, but I still need shine and finish. So I just put a drop, and I can go ahead and you can see, and I bend my hair. My hair is cut with a razor, so I can do whatever I want with the argan serum that we have. This is something that I'm going to introduce, and then I'm going to close my class to show you what 2 pumps of this and 3 pumps of our leave-in cream. I'm sorry, 2 pumps of our leave-in cream and 3 pumps of our oil. We have this, is called the sweet mix. If you don't believe me, try it, because when you combine 2 pumps of our leave-in cream, 3 pumps of our serum together. It's called Sweet Mix. It's in our manuals. That's how popular it is. And you apply that mixture, it's called the Sweet Mix, to the hair that you're blow drying that has frizz and or waves. You will not believe the finish on the hair. It is insane. You have to try it. That blow dry will last a good, if she's out of her humidity or even in humidity, that blow dry is silk. It is non-oily. And the leave-in cream, the 2 pumps of the leave-in cream, it's from our moisture line, and it is incredible. It's almost a cure to a smooth finish of a blow dry. So you would do this. You would do 1, 2 pumps of our leave-in moisture cream, and it delivers instant moisture. And you would do 3 of our serum. So you would do 1, 2, 3, 3 pumps. You go ahead and emulsify it, and you bring this through your client's mid shaft down, rubbing it, rubbing it, rubbing it, rubbing it, comb it through. And whatever's left on your hand, you might want to touch the crown area and go ahead and do a blow dry, and you're going to remember me. You will be calling GK. It's a good idea to call now for the 25%. Prime 25 is the code. Call GK. Everything that we have in GK, but this is a great time to take advantage of the discount that we're offering. And you will remember me, the Sweet Mix. 2 pumps of our leave-in cream. This comes from our moisture line. And 3 pumps of our serum. This is a great time to do it. And when you blow out your client's hair, you will remember the educator, Leanne Hannaford, that introduced the Coco, which is called Coco the Best. And you're going to remember everything that I introduced. These are key elements. Remember that Juvexin is paramount in maintaining and obtaining beautiful, healthy, silky hair. We have offers. We offer all our clientele, all our stylists, round the clock support in anything that you may need. My Instagram is Leanne0125. I have a lot of people that reach out to me. If they can reach me, they reach corporate, and Fahad is always in contact with me for color corrections or treatments that our clients will be doing, our smoothing treatments and questions that they have. I am behind the chair. I have a huge following. So sometimes I am not available 24/7. I work like you, but corporate can always reach me with any concern that you may have. And before I finish my class on the launch of the Coco the Best, GK Hair is the first company to come out with our vegan smoothing treatment, 100% vegan, 100% gluten-free, goji berries and vitamin Bs and coconut oil, which is 90% pressed out of the coconut. It is the lightest oil, the coconut oil, saturated fats in those oils. And that with our Juvexin is what the main property in our Coco line. It is non-aggressive. There is no wait time. You can go ahead and do color the same day, but you would do your treatment first. Then go ahead and choose your color formulation using 8 or 10 only. The day that you're going to do your Coco, you can do your color later. If you're working with highlights, balayage, whatever you're using in our lightening powders, go ahead and do your lightening technique first, and then go ahead and finish with the Coco. And with that said, you have zero thoughts on anything but positive when you use any treatment from GK Hair, any color from GK Hair, anything from GK Hair, because it is maxed with Juvexin. We have our Shield additive, which is I use when I do a lot of bleaching. I'm always bleaching. That is protection for your hair. So whatever you need, whatever you're going to be using as a first time user, I highly recommend that you go and look at our products. If there is something that you want to buy to introduce to your clients from our aftercare line, all the way through colors and lightning powders, this is the time to buy your few products because you're getting 25% off. It's good through tomorrow. Your code for GK Hair would be Prime 25. And that will give you 25% on whatever you buy, including Coco, the best. It's amazing what you can do with our lines. This is our 5th treatment that GK has introduced. Only company to come out with 100% vegan line, gluten-free. I highly recommend that you take the opportunity after I've trained you, and hopefully you'll be certified to go ahead and do your treatment. You can do it, and it is not complicated. Hopefully you got a lot out of my class. So again, thank you for joining me and GK Hair and listening to the great product that we introduced today. And I teach quite a bit for GK, different techniques, different options that I offer through GK. And so hopefully I will see you soon on another class that GK wants me to teach. I will be leaving you. Thank you for joining my class. I hope that I was able to open your eyes, teach you correctly, and that you jump into this today to take advantage of the 25% discount good through tomorrow. So thank you everyone on Facebook. Thank you anyone who came in addition out of Facebook to join my class. Again, my name is Leanne, and my Instagram is Leanne, LIANNE0125. Any questions, you can always reach corporate. Corporate has a way of always reaching their ambassadors. Thank you and have a great week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and good luck, okay?
Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you, Joni. Leaving the class now. Bye-bye.